Hi guys. Wait, hold on. Hi guys. I look cute, right? Hey. All right, let me get into the topic of this video, okay? First of all, say hey, Hope.
Hey.
Start that all over again. That's a mess, babe. Hi guys. So I just wanted to come on here and to talk to you guys about finding an architect. Is it architect or architecture? Architecture, okay. Here in Tanzania. So not gonna lie, it's definitely a process. Like, it's a whole process. I think the first thing that you need to do is you need to find out what type of house or business or whatever it is that you're doing. You need to find out what it is that you want, and you need to be specific. Not like, oh, you know, I like this house. You know, like when you go to do interviews with an architecture, you need to have like how big you want it. What do you want in that space? How much rooms do you want? What type of lighting do you want? How many bathrooms? How many bedrooms? Like, you really need to be specific, because it helps the architecture out a lot in, you know, having your vision, having photos. I mean, guys, when we sat down with our architecture, like, we had like 50 photos, so that way they really got to see what it is that we were looking for. So yeah, so you need to have everything already laid out, because it just makes it easier for the architecture, okay? So we knew what we wanted, and it took actually time for us to figure out what we wanted. So if you're doing this by yourself, or you're doing this with a partner, or you're doing this with a, you know, business partner, whatever it is that you're doing, make sure that you really take out that time and be prepared before you go there. The next step that I would say is do your research. Like, and I'm not just talking about regular old Google search. I'm talking about like real deep research. Like, look at their Instagrams, look at their previous clients, look at the previous work. Listen, somebody might be a great architecture, but if they haven't done what you're looking for, it might not be a good fit. Okay, say you're building a house, but maybe this person builds amazing schools. It's probably not gonna be the best fit, because they are used to building different things than you. Even if they try to tell you like, oh no, I can handle it, da 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 da. Guys, you do not want to spend all that money for an architecture and then it doesn't work out because they can't fit the vision that you have. If you're into old like vintage houses, find an architecture that does old vintage houses instead of maybe new modern ones. So it's extremely important that you do your thorough research. Another thing, make sure it is their work. I cannot stress like how important that is, that you make sure that it is their work. Okay, you want to make sure that they're not like taking other people's work, because I've found that when I've done some research on the architecture, they've like, it'd be like his name is like, let's just say John, and then on the work it would say like Winnie did it, and I'd be like, okay, this is not Winnie. So you have to be very careful, look at everything, try to see their old blueprints, make sure that they know what a blueprint is. There was some architects who didn't even know what a blueprint is, which is very scary, because if they're licensed, that's another thing, make sure that they're licensed. If they're licensed and they know what they're talking about, that's like architecture 101. Like, you should know what a blueprint is, you should know how to make a blueprint, you should know how to do everything when it comes to blueprints. And a lot of them know how to do 3D houses, which 3D houses are super important, but you can't give a 3D house to a construction worker and say build this house. Like, it's just not gonna work. They need a blueprint. So I can't stress how important that is for you to have. Another thing that I would say is just take out the time in different places that you want to live. If it's Arusha, Moshi, Dar es Salaam, there are different, like, you know, local laws that they should know. Maybe when it comes to material, when it comes to land, all of that stuff. Don't have an architecture, build a house that's impossible for the construction workers to make. So again, I cannot stress, research is super, super, super important. So for Hope and I, we sat down with, I don't even know, maybe like 15, 20 architectures, and most of them were full of shit. But of course, y'all know, I do my research. There was even some of them that were sending me pictures from Google, y'all, like for real, for real. But I did my research and I made sure that we didn't want to run into any sketchy people, which there were a lot. But basically how it worked out for us is, if you guys don't know, Hope actually graduated university with an engineering degree. So even though he does videography, he's actually an engineer as well. He just doesn't practice. But so it was really helpful that he had like the insight on the engineering thing. So we kind of, with my research and his engineering background, like we were ready. So he actually has a friend that is in architecture, and you know me, I was like, I don't know, I don't want to, you know, when it comes to friends and stuff like that and business, I try to keep them separate. But he came like strong. So we sat down with him, and we already, before we met with any architecture, we sat down before and we were like, these are the images, this is what we want, blase blase. He was the only architecture who came already prepared. He knew exactly what we wanted, and before we left, he was like, oh, I just want to show you guys something. So we were like, okay. He already had done like a very rough first draft proposal, which made us really excited because we just have all these dreams in our head, but to see it on paper just makes it so real. So it was just the perfect fit for us, like completely perfect fit for us. So now, you know, he's working on the drawings, and we actually got our first draft, and we're really super excited about it. Yeah, that would be my advice on how to find a good architecture for your project. All right, so I love you guys. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.